Ehita is the founder of Okuri, a men's self-care company in a space where men are often overlooked. She's making her mark as a woman building for them. She's also the founder of First Bloomers, a fast-growing community for first daughters ready to heal, unlearn, and bloom. In this episode, we dive deep into her playbook, how she trusted her faith to launch her brand.
I got the idea from the Holy Spirit, and every instruction that He's given me concerning Okuri, I have followed, and it works out.
Why months of late-night research were critical before launch.
It took me months of sleepless nights, and I mean it. Like, I would be downstairs by 8 a.m. on my laptop, and you would meet me on the same spot by 6 a.m. the next morning.
How she turned the public social media call out into the best growth catalyst for her business.
It was a storm that I needed. I did not know that I needed. But with God and with the right people, of course, around me, I was able to sail and sail beautifully.
And the system she's built to scale from being a one-woman team to a structured company serving thousands of men every year.
We're directly and indirectly making impact. Our top customer base, we are men. We have about 90%. I'm talking about over 5,000 men yearly.
We also unpack how she identifies the common story that unites people.
The world will become better with more healed first daughters, because naturally we are nurturers. We are like the second moms. We are passionate, we are kind. So I just genuinely feel like the more we are healed, the more we would give even better.
The importance of instinct in leadership, and her belief that impact above everything else is a legacy worth leaving.
I want people to mention my name in a room and say, oh, that woman, with what she said, my life transformed. Impact.
Let's get into it. Before we dive in, if you stick around until the very end, you'll get a free playbook. The playbook contains Ehita Adedokun's exact strategies for building communities with depth, the kind that create lasting bonds, inspire trust, and truly resonate with people. So, Ehita, thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
One of the things I find really interesting about your story is that you're a woman building a self-care brand for black men out of Lagos, Nigeria. Nigerian men have a stereotype, and that stereotype is kind of harsh, no nonsense, straight to the point, very stereotypical masculine men. I'd love to start with why, right? Why build a self-care brand for men?
So thank you, Fred, for having me on board or on this podcast. The truth is, I get this question a lot, and I find it interesting. But genuinely, I would say that I got the idea from the Holy Spirit. As much as it would sound very spiritual, I'm also a spiritual person, as a case may be. I wanted to build something of purpose, something that was going to make an impact. It wasn't just about, just building a random business. I could have done makeup. I'm not saying makeup doesn't have a purpose and all of that, but I could have done the other types of businesses. But this particular business means a lot to me, or brand per se means a lot to me, because I know how much impact it's contributing to the Nigerian men who, have to show up tough, strong, extra masculine, if that's a thing. And I know that it's also because of the expectations from the society and all of that. So why build a brand for men? The real answer is why not? I have, like I said, seen the major impact on the lives of men. And yeah, pretty much.
And so talk to me more about kind of like just the products themselves.
Okay.
How did you go about building out this brand from day one? So you had the passion, you were led by the Holy Spirit to go and build this brand.
Yeah.
And how did you start? Because from what I understand, you don't have a formal background in kind of like skincare formulation, but your products for men today, your self-care products for men today are some of the best on the market. So how did you go about really creating this product and what went into it?
Okay, so I'd like to say that I started with extensive research. So when I got this idea from the Holy Spirit, like I mentioned, it was a thing that I didn't want to do anyhow. I knew that this was literally a purpose placed on my hands, right? So I took my time to extensively research. So I'm talking about nights, months, sleepless nights, just constantly trying to understand how the black man thinks, why he isn't practicing self-care in general, how can Okuri, come into the picture and change that dynamic. So pretty much it was mostly research. Now you mentioned something about the fact that I didn't have a background, or I don't have a background in, cosmetic formulation and skincare in particular. Yes, I do not. However, I did a lot of research, like I mentioned. I wouldn't say I'm currently the one. I'm not the one, formulating this product. I hired people that are certified and experts that, of course, would help, formulate this product to get it to the top quality or like the results that we're trying to get. So yeah, pretty much.
So take me back, what is it, 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
You're going to celebrate your 4th birthday very soon.
Yeah.
Take me back 4 years. What was that like? Your first launch, first going live?
I think it was exciting. It felt like finally, like I mentioned, I got the idea from the Holy Spirit. I was going to be doing this particular brand, and I wasn't in a hurry to just launch. So like I mentioned earlier, it took me months of sleepless nights. And I mean it. Like I would be downstairs by 8 a.m. on my laptop, and you would meet me on the same spot by 6 a.m. the next morning. So it was something that I was definitely very interested in. I discovered a lot of things during my research and everything, but 4 years now is definitely a milestone for us at Okuri. But essentially, like when we started, it was not like this. I was the only one. I was the founder, the customer service representative, the fulfillment manager, the accountant, name it. So I would say it was overwhelming at the beginning, at the early phases of the business. But yeah, I would say it's a lot better now because there are now structures and systems in place.
I wanna touch on something that obviously people don't always talk about in business. I know faith is a big part of your journey and your story in business. Talk to me more about your faith and how you marry that into your business. How are you able to work on the two? I guess they're not opposed to each other, but just talk to me about like how you work with your faith and business.
I love God, and I'm not a perfect person, right? I'm a work in progress. I listen to instructions, especially from my father, and he talks a lot. And every instruction that he's given me concerning Okuri, I have followed, and it works out. Why would it even work out? So it's more like I usually say like I'm the CEO/founder, but at the same time I have the general overseer of the business, who of course is God. And he directs me, he tells me how to handle situations. It might sound very cliche, like, oh my God, but I promise you guys that God speaks. And yes, faith has really helped me because when I'm experiencing like difficult situations, and of course I can talk to human beings, I have my dad, I have friends and all of these things, they will tell me things to do and all of those things. So, sorry, they'll tell me things to do. But at the same time, I usually just prefer to get a confirmation, to go ahead from God. And I get that a lot because it's like, God, I'm at this position, or I'm at this point, I'm experiencing XYZ. What do you think I should do? I'm actually very overwhelmed right now. I need your input. And it's always like, oh, I've been waiting for you to ask. I thought you were never going to ask. I saw you asking everybody. So finally you're here. I'm like, yes, I'm here. So, of course, his instructions, his directions is never a miss. Like it's always on point. And I always laugh when, at the end of the journey, after following his instruction, I'm like, I should have even asked earlier. So yes, I would say faith really has played a lot of impact in building Okuri. Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me more about one of those tough times. Obviously building a business is not easy. Yeah. I think all builders, all business owners, all creators know that. It's often challenges. So talk to me about some of those challenges. You mentioned where your faith has played a big part. What are some of the big challenges you've had?
My faith really helped me when a certain individual called us out on Instagram, right? And it wasn't as a result of, putting out product that weren't like effective or stuff like that, because he even said it in his message that it's not like you guys are damaging anything, but I just feel like you guys should get a NAFDAC number. That really was the first time that we ever got called out on social media. So for me, I'm like, my whole world, literally, I only know Okuri, and this is literally my life, why is the devil? Because to me, I'm just saying like, what is going on? What is this storm? I'm not prepared for it. And the interesting part about that is I just like how God operates, especially with me. It was a storm that I needed. I did not know that I needed. But with God and with the right people, of course, around me, I was able to sail and sail beautifully. In fact, that particular call out even built occurring more. So
Interesting.
yes, it was beautiful.
There's two things that I would love to touch on there.
Okay.
Right. You said you never knew you needed it. Elaborate more on that.
As a business owner in Nigeria, especially someone like me that bootstrapped almost like all like my capital and everything, I would say that I was procrastinating registering the products. I was already happy with the fact that, you know what, the products work, they're effective, I'm not getting any complaints. So please, when I made inquiries on how to, get the NAFDAC and all of these things, when I heard the cost, I'm like, you know what, we'll talk about this some other time. Don't worry. I have other things to do with my money. But that particular person calling us out on Instagram, it was like God needed me at that point to do that, because I then expanded my factory. That's a laboratory where we formulate our product, employed more people, registered our products, and that has placed us in places that would have never really been good, because now our products are certified. So yes, I feel like God wanted me, because if I had just been, going about my thing, I would have probably not done it anytime soon, because it was just like my products are not getting anybody, out of their usual self. It was doing what it was supposed to do. So why spend so much money? Because registering NAFDAC cost us a lot of money. So yeah, but right now I'm proudly say, we have like all our products are safe and certified. It's like a plus.
I want to touch more on that because I think oftentimes we hear business owners and entrepreneurs done this and they done that. So you've mentioned you've gone and got certified, you expanded your factory, you hired more staff. Take me through step by step in as much detail as possible how you did it, right? So I'm thinking already there are restrictions, there's like constraints, right? So how do you just go out and get a bigger factory? Did you have the money to do that? How do you just go out and hire more staff where you reinvest in profits back in the business?
Like I mentioned, it was something that was already on my mind to do, but it was like, you know what, this is not important. I'm sure a lot of business owners will understand that we have like an order of priority. This is not really important right now. It could be important, but not now. So I would say that to an extent, I had some money, of course, from the profit that the business already made. That was just somewhere that was planned to use for something else. So that money was then used for the like the NAFDAC registration. The step by step would be me now, asking the right questions, going on the right platforms to search for more experts to be brought on board. Of course, back-to-back interviews, hiring, back-to-back performance appraisals on all of these things. So yeah, it was pretty much just as simple as that. I already had some monies that was already like set apart, but I didn't plan to use it for the NAFDAC. But when that situation came, it was just like, you know what? Onto your calling, oh Lord. Yes.
So I'm going to keep on diving deeper on this, because one of the key things I really want to get out of this is to inspire and empower other entrepreneurs, as I know that's a passion of yours as well. So, for example, NAFDAC registration, there's a lot of mystery around it, right? There's a lot of, a lot of mystery around it. Not a lot of business owners maybe need it, but they don't know how to do it. You see a lot of products that don't have NAFDAC registration. So practically, is it going on the NAFDAC website and like looking through? You mentioned hiring experts. Was this part of the process of becoming NAFDAC certified? What's the actual, what were the things that went into getting NAFDAC certified?
I was blessed to have someone who already registered her product. So it was just a call away. Okay. I personally didn't want to make a mistake, so I asked a lot of questions, like I mentioned earlier. So with this call, I was able to get someone that worked that could be like a middleman for us. Yes, like a consultant for NAFDAC. So I asked all the right questions. He came to see the laboratory. And of course, NAFDAC, they have strict expectations. You have to, you need to be in a neat environment. The type of water you use, it's actually very good. And I feel a lot of businesses that, have or produce, or let me just say formulate skincare product as a case maybe, should actually get certified through NAFDAC, because they would ensure that you're going through the due diligence or the processes to, get the product out. So it was just a call away. It was easy peasy to me.
Yeah.
Because I had someone that was a consultant that I could always consult with. He came to see the laboratory. He told me what to change, what not to change, and all of these things, helped with the registration process. I necessarily did not have to go to NAFDAC per se, because I had a representative that was helping me do all of that.
You make it sound so easy.
Yeah. You could also do it yourself, but because I was new to it, I don't like to waste time, learning something that I feel like somebody can, help me quickly do it, especially somebody who is experienced. And I knew the urgency of how much I needed my NAFDAC to be out, because of course, business now is on almost like a pause, because we needed to register all our products. So to me, I'm like, I'm not going to start, experiencing back and forth. And, I will now say, oh, experience is the best teacher. Now, I needed someone who was experienced, who had registered, who had helped other businesses, register their product and just talk to the person. And that's what I did. I would advise that you do that as well, as opposed to, doing the longer route.
So let's go back to the incident, the call out that transformed your business. How did that eventually, I guess, settle? Or how was that resolved? What was the closure on that incident?
The certain individual was open to, doing a form of promotion for us after we get the NAFDAC. But I feel like for me, it wasn't even about the promotion. I really didn't care about all of that. He was just a vessel that was used for Okuri, right? Push us to the next level. The moment we got our NAFDAC, I didn't reach out to him anymore. It was just like, I'm good. I don't need you to do any form of promotion. You literally helped us to even get our certification a lot faster than how I would have probably, pushed for it. So it definitely took us to another level, because men love to get the certainty that they are safe and what they are going to be applying on their body is certified. So adding the safe and certified was just like an extra topping on the cake. So it's like, oh, perfect. Thank you for even being certified. So it means like I can use this product and all of that. So that definitely helped our brand to the greatest point. Yeah.
And you've been in business 4 years, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
Talk to me a bit about the scale of the business today. Obviously, you started from zero, from research, from being led by the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Talk to me a bit about the business today. I know you've got like a factory, etc. Just talk to me about it.
Of course, it's not the same as year one or month one. I would say that it's been a very interesting progressive growth. I have seen the brand by itself grow from 0 to 100. Of course, we're not at 100 yet. I can see the 100 being, a lot bigger than where we are. But of course, there is growth. Like I mentioned earlier, it was me being the founder, the CEO, the operations manager, the logistics controller, the analyst, the supply chain manager, as a case may be. But right now, I would say that we now have a lot of more internal structure. And what I did was to understand our customer's journey from the beginning to the end. And why that helped Okuri is seeing where I needed to hire and where I needed to cut some long manual processes. So let's say from point A to Z, how does our customer see the product or see the brand, and what is the end result? So I was able to analyze all of these things and then position the right people to be able to ensure that the customer journey is seamless. So definitely from year one to year 4, there's been a significant change. I think I would like to add something that my friend said. So she came to visit me from UK, and then of course she's heard me talk about, I'm having like stand-up meetings, and she's like, oh wow, you're always busy and all of these things. So when she came into the office, that's the admin center, she was marveled, and she didn't even know when she said like, there is a lot of structure here. So we have teams, like people who are, their focus is just one aspect. So people who are just, fulfilling the orders, people who are chatting, people who are marketing, people who are creating content, the operations. So having those structures, or like having the structures just in place, really helped us to move from point A to Z and helped us to grow from year 1 to where we are right now.
And talk a bit about the scale of the business, just in terms of like the size of your team, How many men are you impacting like today? I mean, you don't have to give like specific numbers, but just a rough idea. I mean, I know personally from
Yeah.
experience, kind of like the impact that you have,
Yeah.
but it'll be great to hear from your journey, right from the research to like now you talk about specific teams from
Okay.
customer support to
Yeah.
fulfillment to
Yeah.
operations.
So to be very honest, I would say it's amazing. I'm talking about in a year we're looking at, and I wouldn't be able to even scale, but if I want to talk about transactions, I can give a rough estimate. But why I'm saying I will not be able to scale and use a particular number is because we're directly and indirectly making impacts. More men are normal as seeing they've started seeing self-care rather as a normal thing to be done as opposed to something feminine. So to me, that's an amazing impact. That's literally why we're here, to ensure that more men practice self-care. But secondly, in terms of transactions, amazing to say that our top customer base would be men. We have about 90%. And that's even just me not trying to do too much.
Yeah.
But men do love to take care of themselves. There are a lot of men that are our customers, and not just our customers, they are our loyal customers. They understand. In fact, they don't even make inquiries. They just go to the website, they just add to cart and they check out. So if I'm giving transaction scale, I'm talking about over 5,000 men yearly.
And talk to me about the size of your team today.
So for the size of our team, right now at the admin center where we do our admin operations, I would say we are about 18.
Okay, awesome.
But at the laboratory we are about 7.
Cause
So yeah.
awesome. When you started 4 years ago, if you could have projected forward and if you could have said, okay, here's my 4-year plan, are you further along than where you would have thought, or are you behind?
I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Awesome.
I strongly believe that everything happens for a reason. Of course, every business owner in Nigeria, in fact, every business owner worldwide, we all have our dreams. If it can happen in 1 year, perfect. Like, I would just say I'm right where I need to be, because this journey from year 1 to year 4 has really taught me, has really shaped me, has opened my eyes to things that if I had gotten this level of success in just 1 year, I might have not seen it. So yeah.
You have a top client base that's men. They obviously come back. I've personally heard about your products through people and have been able to experience your product. So obviously you've created a great product. So beyond creating a great product, which I think is fundamental, what other parts of the business have you focused on to really build that fan base, that following that you have within men?
On a long run, I don't see Okuri just being a product-based business. Of course, I am a business owner in Nigeria, so we need a way to make money or like the profit and all of these things. But beyond that, what I would say we've done at Okuri is to separate, to have like 2 areas of the business, which is the product-based business and the services that we could render. So what do? Our unique selling point at Okuri is not to just, sell a product, is to consult with the client. In fact, we got a testimonial one time, I think on Google. I can't remember where exactly. And the person said why he enjoyed, buying products from Okuri was that he felt like he was in a, when you're consulting with somebody, it's not, oh, you want to buy beard grooming products, you want to buy a skincare, okay, it's X amount of money, account number. No, that's not how we do it. We are not super fixated on that. We are very particular about, talking to you, understanding your pain point, especially because we are dealing with Black men. We know that they want to just quickly come into the DMs and just say, please, I saw this online and I want to buy it. But yes, we render services now, like you can talk to a trichologist who focuses on scalp and beard and your hair. We also can talk to an esthetician who focuses on your skin. So that's actually something that I know a lot of men have enjoyed under like Okuri in general.
How big do you think this business could be?
I think it's beyond me. I see it being global because, of course, Black men in Africa and in diaspora means global. So it's beyond me. It's going to be, I don't even have the words, but I see Okuri making extreme and serious impacts in the lives of men.
One of the things that is reoccurring narrative in kind of like Nigerian business circles is hiring great staff is very, very difficult to find great people. We all know that, great businesses, great products are never built by one person. Yes, a founder has a vision. They have a direction. And yes, they pour a lot into the business, but you obviously need people and you need great people as well. You obviously have a team, many of them who have been with you for a long time. You're also growing and expanding your team. What would you say your insights are around hiring, first of all, finding great people, and then also retaining and keeping those people on board for the ups and downs of the journey?
There is a talent and skill gap in Nigeria. I don't know about other countries, but it's been a lot of hire for fire. That's the theme that is, popular, but it's very exhausting because how many times am I going to go through CVs, people saying I have 6 years experience managing teams. I have 7 years experience. And then when they come on board, I am literally almost micromanaging you. I'm retraining you. And to me, I'm like, but you said you had 7 years experience. I would say that's a major challenge that I even should have mentioned earlier. But with the current team that I have right now, I have some people who's been with us for 3 years plus, 2.5, and all of that. One way I would say I've been able to maintain the efficiency of my team and also these people to stay as long as now is there is this we'll all earn or make money out of the profits. So there is this, don't worry, we're all going to make the money. And there's this commission-based structure that I also have within the organization that whatever you're also bringing to the table, there is a commission. So everybody is on their toes. They're trying to ensure that they are contributing solely to the business growth. Everybody understands that we are also transparent. That's something I do as well. I'm very transparent with my team. I tell them how it is, where we are going and all of that. And I feel like they feel carried along. They don't feel like today is X, tomorrow is A. So yes, just making them know that they have a share in the profits by giving them a certain kind of commissions based off targets or maybe contributions that they make has really helped us to retain our staff. And of course, other welfare perks, maybe allowances here and there, just also recognizing their contributions and making it really big amongst the team members. Yes, that's really helped us.
Also, we hear a lot about transparency, right? And I think it's one of the toughest things as a business owner because transparency is always easy when things are going well.
Yeah.
Transparency is difficult when things are not going well, right? Yeah. Because do we really want to scare staff by telling them, hey, we've only got 4 months of runway. If we don't close these sales, it might be good night, right? So how transparent do you think you can really be with your team? How deep does that transparency go? Is it 100% transparency, fully everything? Or is it what you think will make them feel comfortable or just what they ask? How would you, and this is a big area for business owners. I've spoken to many people who are hey, I don't know whether I should share this with the team. I'm going through this pressure. I don't know. I don't want to put it on my team, but I really need them to close these sales. How would you, what would you say to that?
I would say that ask the Lord, right? Of course, you don't want to scare people away. This very time when that particular individual called us out on social media, it was obvious that business was going to take a halt. It was going to be pause. So now they're looking okay, what's going to happen to us? I'm not certain how long NAFDAC is going to take. Apparently it took almost a year to get my NAFDAC. That's a talk for another day.
So business was on pause for a year?
Yeah, but we had a loyal customers who didn't give a damn about, pardon me, who didn't care about whether we had NAFDAC or not. They didn't mind. Like I said, men are very easy in terms of once they find something that works for them, they don't have any problem. Even sometimes when our loyal customers came back and were oh, we don't really have NAFDAC, we're please, can you just sell this product to me? I'm traveling tomorrow. When you get the NAFDAC, that was thumbs up and everything. Secondly, I was completely transparent during this period. For example, I told them how it is. You guys are going to be going home. I'll give you an update. You already can see what's going on. I'm not certain how it's going to be but for the next 3 months, I can assure that we can still pay salaries. We still had a couple of work to be done. But I would say to a very great extent, I was transparent. But I can't say you can be transparent 100%, right? But I'm I'm transparent enough for them to feel not left out. I carry them so along. We have we have random meetings. You guys, I don't, it could be like gist. I'm not even trying to make you scared. I'm like, how far we have gist to like, let's talk about this. This is what's happening. And amazingly, I've realized that the more transparent I have been over the years, the more they're very empathetic. They understand. They are willing to, go with us. Like I have gotten a couple of encouragements, encouraging messages for myself. Oh, don't worry, this is gonna be okay, and all of that. So yes, that's what transparency has kind of like helped us to do at Okuri. I wouldn't say 100%, but transparency to the greatest point that you can and you feel comfortable doing. Yeah.
So as you build out Okuri over the next 5-6 years, what do you see are some of the biggest areas that you would like to grow, right? Or you need support? And what are some of the challenges that you think would be on the horizon as well?
That's easy peasy. The first thing I would like to say is automating a lot of our processes. Some of the processes that we still do here at Okuri are almost like a manual label, our labeling, our formulation, our stuff like that. So yes, automating some of these processes. Secondly, hiring even more expert staff that could, handle pressure, because in as much as men are easy, they also don't like nonsense, right? As we grow, we are acquiring more customers. We are retaining even more clients. So we want to ensure that we have the right set of people that can manage the influx of customers that is to come, and also automating some of the processes that are currently manual right now. Yeah.
Awesome. In terms of the business, many people are intrigued. There's quite a lot of growth and interest around African skincare, African beauty, African fashion, etc. And you're right in the heart of that, right? Building a unique product for men that's super interesting, is successful in its own right, and is still growing. For those looking from the outside in, saying, hey, I want to get into this space, right? I want to get into the beauty space or the skincare space. I've heard that Nigeria or Africa is the place to be. What would you say to them? And what should they be prepared for when they actually get hair on the ground? Because it looks amazing. You make it look amazing.
Yeah.
We see the Instagram growing. We see the comments. We see people saying, can I order? Can I buy? But what's behind the scenes that people need to be aware of getting into this space?
Okay, so firstly, if you're trying to start a self-care brand, because that's what Okuri is about, we're a men's self-care brand in Nigeria, my advice would be understand your vision. And I'm not joking about that, because Nigeria will test you. Nigeria will test you, from the currency fluctuations to the bad power, like to the infrastructure, to just literally think about logistics, think about custom duties, think about the policies that could just, come up today. Nigeria will test you, but the vision will keep you going. I will tell you that I have experienced, mention it. Is it logistics? Is it power supply? Is it import duties? Is it custom tasks? Mention it? I have experienced a lot as a business owner in Nigeria. But what has kept me going has been my vision. I know what I'm trying to do, because there's just a thin line between Nigerians' frustrations and your vision. There's a thin line. You can just be like, you know what? Thank you so much. I'm closing this business down. But when you have like your vision clear, you know where you're going. I don't think anything can stop you, because you're determined. You can see. It's just like you have a focal point. And even if there are noise, like people making noise in the background, you're just like, I have where I'm going to. And I think that's just going to be my advice to anybody who is trying to start, a business or a brand in general in Nigeria. You should just, and I think I would like to add one thing that I just came to my mind now. Having the right mindset is literally not a necessity. It's like your moving gear, like you need it. You cannot come into business and say, let's see how it goes. It will really show you how it will go. But it's literally just having the right mindset, knowing how you want to work around it, even when push comes to shove, when you know that, it's just having the right mindset, personally. But I promise you that it's not a walk in the park. It's not going to be that way. It's just having the right mindset. understanding your vision clearly. And the truth is, there is money here in Nigeria.
You're obviously very driven.
Yeah.
Been in business for 4 years. They say most businesses die after 2 years, right? So you've been in businesses 4 years. You're celebrating your 4th anniversary. Is there anything in your upbringing, in your childhood, family, how you grew up, that you would say has impacted you and got you into business? Were your parents, entrepreneurial? What sparked that kind of like entrepreneurial flair?
That's a very interesting question. I've really never sat with myself to ask that question before. But now that you've asked, I would like to say that this is not the only business I have built or I have started, as a case may be. Even from my university days, I know that I had like a fashion business. It was called Shopper's Girl. Some people will know that I had like I was making hair, I was doing makeup, I've just always been entrepreneurial. I would also say one thing would be the kind of family that I grew up in. Now that you've mentioned that, because my dad is also a businessman, he's an engineer. My mom is also someone that loves business. So I grew up in a family where we cannot be broke. It's like we need to figure out how to make it. And one thing that I would say also impacted me and even my entrepreneurial and how Okuri is also successful is how my dad speaks to me and what he says. One thing my dad will always say is make an impact. And also my mom, she's just supportive. So you bring an idea to her, she looks at it, she's like, I think it will work. And that's what she did. When I came to her to tell her about Okuri, I was like, because she knew I was in a phase of my life where I wanted to build a brand for like that was going to make an impact. So I came to her like, the Holy Spirit said I should do this. She said, it will work. I don't know whether she can remember that she said that to me, but that phrase alone, she just said it will work. That was the catalyst that I needed, because that particular moment was like, say no more, say less. So yes, from the kind of family I'm from, encouraged, me to be an entrepreneur. They're still very supportive, and yeah, I would say
awesome. And you're building another brand as well, a brand for First Daughters. We definitely have to touch on that. Yeah. Tell me more about the brand. What's it called? What is it about? What sparked the passion?
I have a new community that is called First Bloomers, and it's just for first daughters who are trying to heal and bloom. I emphasize on the fact that we're not trying to trauma bond. We are trying to become the highest version of ourselves. And it's interesting because I'm also a firstborn and a first daughter. And it's also a way of making an impact, because with the few months of existing or building this community, I have seen the level of impact that I have contributed to the lives of first daughters. And I would like to give an example. So I had a webinar, and it was more like it was called Bloom and Bond, where other first daughters across the continent, joined. And at the end of the session, I then asked, what is one thing you're going to be taking home from this webinar? It was amazing to see the feedbacks. It was just so beautiful to see that something I said, touched the lives of people. And one feedback that really touched my heart was a woman who was already at the salon about to cut her hair. And mind you, when a woman decides to cut her hair, I'm not saying, yes, she can cut her hair if she feels like it. But most of the times it's always, I want to start afresh. I'm tired. This hair, let me take it out and all of this. And she said, you know what? I'm going to go back home. There's no need. I don't feel like cutting my hair anymore. I feel seen. I feel heard and all of that. That just gave me a form of reassurance, right? Because as a first daughter, I know how I was like a scapegoat. And of course, my parents never knew. They didn't know better. I was the first child. So they tested a lot of things on me. I was literally like the lab rat and everything. And of course, that shaped me into who I became. I'm using the word became now because I am really healing. I've been consciously healing from some of the traumatic experiences or even things that happened to me growing up. It wasn't really bad, but trust me, it didn't happen to the rest of my siblings. And my mom and I already had this conversation. She apologized. She's a sweetheart. We're very, very, in fact, she's my bestie right now. But regardless, those moments, the they shaped me into the woman that I became. But when I sat with myself and I realized that, wait, what? I am living my life, and this is literally like a syndrome. I started putting out words out there, started talking about it, and I realized that I was not alone. We had thousands, millions of first daughters who can relate to exactly my story. So that's pretty much what the community is about. We're just trying to like heal together, bloom together, and just become the highest version of ourselves. I'd like to say this. I strongly believe that the world will become better with more healed first daughters, because naturally we are nurturers. We are like us. We are like the second moms. We are caring. We are passionate. We are kind. There's so much more. So we can't go about being traumatized. So I just genuinely feel like the more we are healed, the more we would give even better. So thank you for asking that question.
You had a post that went viral.
Yeah.
Why did it go viral?
I would say it went viral because, to my surprise, it really went viral because a lot of first daughters felt seen. It was like I was speaking on their behalf. It's just like somebody reading your book. I'm not there, but I know you. So they felt seen. They felt like, I even got a comment. Somebody said, how is it that you just said everything about me to the T? Someone also said, just talk to me directly. So it went viral because it was very relatable. It was the genuine truth. Like, it was the truth of like our journey. It was literally how we see things, how we handle situations. So yeah, I would say it went viral because it was relatable.
And just following up on that,
Yeah.
you seem to be able to really understand specific niches. And while people go wide, you're able to go super deep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could have just built a community for women, but you made it about first daughters.
Yeah.
You could have just built a skincare brand for everyone. But you built one specifically for Black men. What is it about you that makes you go deep on issues as opposed to, or deep on subjects, topics? What do you think that is about you? Why do you think you're like that?
One thing for sure is Okuri now, which of course is focused on Black men, self-care, and then First Bloomers, the community for first daughters. I got the direction from the Holy Spirit. I know, I understand what you might be thinking, but I heard it. I was a bit stubborn for the First Bloomers, that's the First Daughters community, because I was like, nah, this is about my journey. I want to heal. I don't need to carry people along. But I was very unsettled. I was not having it. I just knew that I needed to do it. And just to even top it up, what God did was, in the space of 4 months now, we have over 15,000 women across the world. It's amazing to see. I'm not talking about just women or first daughters in Nigeria. I'm talking about the United States. I'm talking about UK. I'm talking about South Africa, Germany. Very strange, interesting countries that I wouldn't have imagined ever going to. But right now, these first daughters are willing. It's like there is a call. There is this movement. Everybody wants to, first daughters want to now be on that journey. Yeah, like, oh, I think I also want to heal. I think I have this as well. I want to heal and all of this. So I would say, yeah, pretty much it.
I'm a big believer that everything is going to come to an end, right? Everything good comes to an end. We all have an expiry date. The only thing promised in life is death. And not to be morbid, but my question to pretty much every entrepreneur, because I think it defines who we are and why we do what we do. When all is said and done, when, you know, years and years down the line, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for impact. I want people to mention my name in a room and say, oh, that woman, she did this. With what she said, my life transformed. Impact. And that's my drive. Impacting men, impacting first daughters. I'm fulfilled. I know this is what I'm called for. I know this is my purpose, and I'm happy. It's a lot to be handling both, but I'm glad that I was chosen as a vessel to do this. So yes, I would say impact.
Okay. And my real last question, if there has to be, you get to ask me one thing that you would like me to help you with
if I was to ask you for something genuinely, what would I ask you for? Okay, yes, because you mentioned that you have a brand that's, investing into businesses and all of these things. I think this is just like it's like an easy way for me to just say, I would like to talk about, the investment possibilities between,
Okay.
the
Us.
both of us. Yeah.
Cool. And if there was one thing that you wanted people to contact you about or reach out to you about that you would be happy to help them with, what would that be?
I have like almost three things, and I don't mind mentioning these three things.
Awesome.
Firstly, you can contact me if you want to talk to me about, being a first daughter and wanting to heal. Secondly, you can talk to me about building a business like niching down in Nigeria, especially. I would be happy to help. Thirdly, I would not mind talking about branding, just anything that has to be branding. I think those are like the three things I really enjoy. So I don't mind if you ask me those questions.
Ehita, thank you so much for joining me today. Your story is powerful. It's one of vision. I think it's very inspiring. And what's even more exciting is that your journey still continues.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to see from Okuri and First Bloomers. And we're excited to watch that journey grow. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today, and wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.